Julio Rodriguez. Julio Rodriguez.
Julio Rodriguez. Crack. Up the. Here and that setting. Rodriguez ends it with a flurry and a big fly.
Mariners rookie sensation Julio Rodriguez has captivated baseball fans this year with contagious energy and undeniable talent.
Julio, long run towards the gap. Can he get it? Yeah!
J-Rod recently made headlines when he agreed to an enormous and complex long-term extension with the Seattle Mariners before finishing his first season in the league. The hype around Julio is real and raises an interesting question. How does Julio Rodriguez compare to the young superstars of the game? Does he possess the kind of potential shown by the likes of Juan Soto, Fernando Tatis Jr., Ronald Acuna, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? Or could Julio Rodriguez be even better? Rodriguez is the Rookie of the Year frontrunner. His numbers are impressive, especially for a rookie. As of September 5th, Julio is hitting .272 with 23 home runs and 67 RBIs in 118 games. J-Rod was the first player in MLB history to hit 15-plus home runs and 20-plus stolen bases in his first 81 games, regardless of age. At times, Rodriguez looks like a player who has the talent and ability required to develop into an MVP. He made the AL All-Star roster and electrified the Home Run Derby. In the past few years, young superstars like Ronald Acuna, Juan Soto, Fernando Tatis Jr., and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. have made immediate impacts to their teams and produced enormous hype, much like Rodriguez, while other young stars like Yordan Alvarez, Wander Franco, and Luis Robert have impressed. This video will focus on just a few comps. Comparing the stats of each player is useful, but can also be misleading. Players debut at different ages, in different circumstances and lineups. It is impossible to compare each player perfectly, but it is interesting to compare their early careers. Consider the rookie season of each of the previously mentioned players. As of September 5th, Julio Rodriguez played in 118 games at the age of 21. Ronald Acuna played in 111 games in his rookie season when he also was 21 years old. This comparison is also relevant because each player plays in the outfield and was touted as a true 5-tool prospect. During their respective rookie seasons, both players showed an ability to hit for power and to steal bases. Both struck out at a high rate and walked at a low rate. While Acuna hit for a better average and had a higher home run rate, Julio's defense and base running put his WAR higher than Acuna's. In 2018, Acuna won the NL Rookie of the Year award, that year beating out Juan Soto. The numbers are comparable and encouraging for Julio Rodriguez. During his rookie season, at age 20, Tatis hit an incredible .317 with 22 home runs and 53 RBIs in just 84 games. He also stole 16 bases. Tatis hit at an MVP level in his 84-game first season, displaying stunning power, speed, and overall talent. But like Rodriguez and Acuna, Tatis demonstrated his propensity for striking out at a high rate. In his rookie season, at age 20, Vlad Jr. demonstrated his undeniable hitting ability and finished with a .272, 15.69 line in 123 games. While Vlad's rookie year was not as explosive as his peers, he certainly established himself as a future star and finished second in the AL MVP vote in 2021. Soto finished his rookie season hitting .292 with 22 home runs and 70 RBIs in 116 games. Soto's strikeout and walk numbers were far better than his peers, and Soto finished with an impressive all-around season. Comparing the rookie seasons of these young stars is difficult. The players in this group were called up to the big leagues at different ages, and each played a unique number of games. Each player came into a different situation, with some playing competitive baseball immediately, and some hitting in better lineups than others. With that being said, J-Rod deserves credit for producing the highest wins above replacement of the group, which continues to rise. Overall, Tatis Jr.'s rookie season stands out among the group for his stellar numbers and significant production in just 84 games. But each player showed that they possessed a high level of talent and an it factor, that pointed to an exciting future. Each of the players cited in this comparison has produced at least one elite season to build on their rookie year. J-Rod will have to take that leap and develop significantly to match their success.
And the pitch is rifled toward right field and deep. That ball is gone! Another homer against the Marlins for Acuna.
Ronald Acuna had his best season in 2019, his second full season in the league. Acuna hit .280 with 41 home runs and 101 RBIs in 156 games. Acuna also stole 37 bases and finished with a 5.1 WAR. In that season, Acuna finished 5th in the voting for the National League MVP.
High drive to deep left center field for Fernando Tatis Jr. Home run!
Tatis Jr. had his best season in 2021. Playing just 130 games, Tatis hit .282 with 42 home runs and 97 RBIs. Tatis finished with a 6.6 WAR and 3rd in the voting for the National League MVP.
Swinging a drive deep to center field. Get up, get out of here, and gone! Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Vlad Jr. also had his best year in 2021 when he hit .311 with 48 home runs and 111 RBIs, making for a 6.8 WAR in 161 games. It was an incredible season, and Vlad Jr. finished 2nd in the AL MVP voting, only to Shohei Ohtani's historic season.
Base percentage reached .460. Soto, right center. See you way later.
Juan Soto's best season also came in 2021. He finished 2nd in the NL MVP voting and finished with a .313, 29, 95 line and a WAR of 7.1. Each of the aforementioned players has already finished in the top 5 of MVP voting during at least one season. Can Julio Rodriguez make that sort of leap in the next few years? His raw ability and wide array of tools indicate that he may. Julio has demonstrated raw power with 23 home runs so far. This number is especially impressive, considering that Rodriguez struggled mightily in April and hit 0 home runs. It seems likely that Julio will be able to hit 30 and even 40 home runs in future seasons. And if the home run derby is any indication of Julio's raw power, the sky is the limit. But like Acuna and Tatis, J-Rod struggles with striking out at a high rate. In comparison, Vlad Jr. has maintained a strikeout rate that is significantly lower than Acuna, Tatis, and Rodriguez, despite not walking much more than the others. Juan Soto stands out among the group for world-class plate discipline, striking out at a low rate and walking at an exceptionally high rate. Can Julio raise his batting average to a figure that is more comparable to his peers? As of the making of this video, Julio is hitting .272. Combined with his high strikeout rate, Julio will certainly need to improve and adjust to hit closer to .300. Disregarding his first month of the season, Julio would be hitting .282 from May on, which is highly encouraging. J-Rod has made adjustments to big league pitching, which certainly inspires confidence. For example, Rodriguez, like many new players, struggled against major league breaking pitches. During April, he hit .167 against breaking pitches, but over the course of the season, he has lifted that figure to .245, and the percentage of breaking pitches thrown to Rodriguez decreased as his hitting improved. He also hits the ball really hard. J-Rod currently ranks 16th in average exit velocity among all MLB hitters this season. He is 24th in barrels per batted ball event percentage and 23rd in barrels per plate appearance percentage. Similarly, Rodriguez's hard hit percentage ranks in the top 7% of the league. Ultimately, Julio Rodriguez has proven that he can hit at a high level, and there is reason to believe that he will improve. But that improvement will be required to put him in the same conversation as Soto, Tatis, Guerrero, and Acuna. It is impossible to do a perfect comparison of the defensive abilities of a group of players, especially when they play different positions, but the defensive stats offer some useful insight. For example, the StatCast outs above average figures. The outs above average statistic is a newer calculation and is calculated differently for infielders and outfielders. Outs above average attempts to measure how many outs a player saves, and the success rate added figure provides the difference between an individual player and the average player at a given position. Here's some numbers. Juan Soto, playing in right field and left field, has finished seasons with a success rate added ranging from -2% up to 2%. His career success rate added is -1%. Vlad Jr., playing primarily at first base, has a career success rate added -3%. He finished each of the past 2 seasons at -1%. Tatis Jr. has a career success rate added of -1%, with seasons ranging from -4% to 4%. Acuna, playing all outfield positions, has a career success rate added number of 0%, with his best season at 4%. His number has decreased significantly this season at -4%, coming off of last season's injury. In his rookie season, playing center field, Julio Rodriguez has a success rate added of 2%. It is a respectable figure, but one that will need to be repeated to establish Rodriguez as a top defender. Julio also ranks 10th in all of baseball this year in outs above average. Rodriguez has shown athleticism and instinctive ability in center field, and he is an above average defender this year. He is likely the best defender among the players discussed in this comparison. Julio Rodriguez has demonstrated exceptional speed during his first season. The 21-year-old has 23 stolen bases this season, but his attempts have slowed significantly since returning from injury. J-Rod's average sprint speed, according to StatCast, is 29.7 feet per second, which puts him in the top 3% of the league this season. Acuna and Tatis have displayed similar speed. Tatis Jr.'s average speed ranged from 29.3 feet per second to 29.4 feet per second between 2019 and 2021, which consistently ranked in the top 5% of the league. Acuna's sprint speed during his rookie season matched Julio Rodriguez at 29.7 feet per second and went down slightly in the seasons that followed. Acuna's speed has dipped slightly following his injury, with his average speed this year being at 28.5 feet per second. Guerrero and Soto, of course, are not known for speed. Ultimately, J-Rod possesses elite speed comparable to that of pre-injury Acuna and Tatis. That speed is important to his defense and base running, which makes him a complete player and pushes his WAR above many excellent players. Who has the brightest future of the group? It's difficult to say. Each player is unique and has unique challenges and talents, but it is apparent that in his rookie season, Julio Rodriguez has demonstrated a talent and production that puts him in the conversation with a great young talent in baseball. It remains to be seen if he can take the next step and put up MVP caliber numbers, as each of the players in this discussion has already done. But the future certainly looks bright for the Mariners superstar, Julio Rodriguez.
Here comes the payoff. Julio blasts this out to center. This is driven back by the wall.